Apple.
She eats an apple every day for a healthy snack. She eats an apple every day for a healthy snack. The apple was crisp and sweet. The apple was crisp and sweet. They picked fresh apples from the orchard. They picked fresh apples from the orchard.
Banana.
She adds a banana to her breakfast smoothie. She adds a banana to her breakfast smoothie. The banana was perfectly ripe and yellow. The banana was perfectly ripe and yellow. They buy bananas every week at the supermarket. They buy bananas every week at the supermarket.
Orange.
She squeezes fresh orange juice every morning. She squeezes fresh orange juice every morning. The orange was juicy and full of vitamin C. The orange was juicy and full of vitamin C. They peeled the orange and shared the segments. They peeled the orange and shared the segments.
Strawberry.
She picked fresh strawberries from the garden. She picked fresh strawberries from the garden. The strawberries were sweet and perfectly ripe. The strawberries were sweet and perfectly ripe. They served strawberries with cream for dessert. They served strawberries with cream for dessert.
Tomato.
She uses fresh tomatoes in her salad. She uses fresh tomatoes in her salad. The tomato was red and juicy. The tomato was red and juicy. They grow tomatoes in their vegetable garden. They grow tomatoes in their vegetable garden.
Carrot.
She adds carrots to her vegetable soup. She adds carrots to her vegetable soup. The carrot was crunchy and fresh. The carrot was crunchy and fresh. They snack on raw carrots for a healthy option. They snack on raw carrots for a healthy option.
Potato.
She bakes potatoes in the oven for dinner. She bakes potatoes in the oven for dinner. The potato was fluffy and perfect for mashing. The potato was fluffy and perfect for mashing. They grow potatoes in their garden every year. They grow potatoes in their garden every year.
Onion.
She chops the onion finely for the sauce. She chops the onion finely for the sauce. The onion made her eyes water while cutting it. The onion made her eyes water while cutting it. They use onions as a base for many dishes. They use onions as a base for many dishes.
Lettuce.
She adds fresh lettuce to her sandwiches. She adds fresh lettuce to her sandwiches. The lettuce was crisp and perfect for the salad. The lettuce was crisp and perfect for the salad. They grow lettuce in their vegetable patch. They grow lettuce in their vegetable patch.
Broccoli.
She steams broccoli to keep it nutritious. She steams broccoli to keep it nutritious. The broccoli was tender and green. The broccoli was tender and green. They serve broccoli as a side dish with dinner. They serve broccoli as a side dish with dinner.
Chicken.
She roasts a chicken for Sunday dinner. She roasts a chicken for Sunday dinner. The chicken was tender and well seasoned. The chicken was tender and well seasoned. They buy free-range chicken from the local butcher. They buy free-range chicken from the local butcher.
Beef.
She grills beef steaks for a special dinner. She grills beef steaks for a special dinner. The beef was cooked to perfection, medium rare. The beef was cooked to perfection, medium rare. They use beef mince to make burgers. They use beef mince to make burgers.
Pork.
She cooks pork chops with herbs and garlic. She cooks pork chops with herbs and garlic. The pork was juicy and flavorful. The pork was juicy and flavorful. They serve roast pork for Christmas dinner. They serve roast pork for Christmas dinner.
Fish.
She buys fresh fish from the fishmonger every Friday. She buys fresh fish from the fishmonger every Friday. The fish was grilled and served with lemon. The fish was grilled and served with lemon. They eat fish twice a week for a healthy diet. They eat fish twice a week for a healthy diet.
Salmon.
She bakes salmon with herbs and lemon. She bakes salmon with herbs and lemon. The salmon was pink and perfectly cooked. The salmon was pink and perfectly cooked. They order salmon when they go to restaurants. They order salmon when they go to restaurants.
Milk.
She drinks a glass of milk every morning. She drinks a glass of milk every morning. The milk was fresh and cold from the fridge. The milk was fresh and cold from the fridge. They buy organic milk from the local farm. They buy organic milk from the local farm.
Cheese.
She adds cheese to her pasta dishes. She adds cheese to her pasta dishes. The cheese was mature and full of flavor. The cheese was mature and full of flavor. They enjoy a selection of cheeses with wine. They enjoy a selection of cheeses with wine.
Yogurt.
She eats Greek yogurt with fruit for breakfast. She eats Greek yogurt with fruit for breakfast. The yogurt was creamy and delicious. The yogurt was creamy and delicious. They buy natural yogurt to make smoothies. They buy natural yogurt to make smoothies.
Butter.
She spreads butter on her toast every morning. She spreads butter on her toast every morning. The butter was soft and easy to spread. The butter was soft and easy to spread. They use butter in their baking recipes. They use butter in their baking recipes.
Egg.
She boils eggs for breakfast on weekdays. She boils eggs for breakfast on weekdays. The egg was perfectly cooked with a runny yolk. The egg was perfectly cooked with a runny yolk. They buy free-range eggs from the farm shop. They buy free-range eggs from the farm shop.
Bread.
She buys fresh bread from the bakery every morning. She buys fresh bread from the bakery every morning. The bread was still warm from the oven. The bread was still warm from the oven. They make their own bread at home on weekends. They make their own bread at home on weekends.
Rice.
She cooks rice as a side dish with curry. She cooks rice as a side dish with curry. The rice was fluffy and perfectly cooked. The rice was fluffy and perfectly cooked. They serve rice with many of their main dishes. They serve rice with many of their main dishes.
Pasta.
She makes fresh pasta from scratch on Sundays. She makes fresh pasta from scratch on Sundays. The pasta was al dente and delicious. The pasta was al dente and delicious. They cook pasta for a quick and easy dinner. They cook pasta for a quick and easy dinner.
Flour.
She uses flour to make cakes and bread. She uses flour to make cakes and bread. The flour was sifted before adding to the mixture. The flour was sifted before adding to the mixture. They buy wholemeal flour for healthier baking. They buy wholemeal flour for healthier baking.
Sugar.
She adds a teaspoon of sugar to her coffee. She adds a teaspoon of sugar to her coffee. The sugar dissolved completely in the tea. The sugar dissolved completely in the tea. They're trying to reduce their sugar intake. They're trying to reduce their sugar intake.
Salt.
She seasons the food with salt and pepper. She seasons the food with salt and pepper. The salt enhanced the flavor of the dish. The salt enhanced the flavor of the dish. They use sea salt for better taste. They use sea salt for better taste.
Pepper.
She grinds fresh pepper over her salad. She grinds fresh pepper over her salad. The pepper added a spicy kick to the meal. The pepper added a spicy kick to the meal. They keep black pepper in a grinder on the table. They keep black pepper in a grinder on the table.
Garlic.
She adds crushed garlic to her pasta sauce. She adds crushed garlic to her pasta sauce. The garlic was fragrant and added great flavor. The garlic was fragrant and added great flavor. They use garlic in most of their savory dishes. They use garlic in most of their savory dishes.
Olive oil.
She uses olive oil for cooking and salad dressings. She uses olive oil for cooking and salad dressings. The olive oil was extra virgin and high quality. The olive oil was extra virgin and high quality. They drizzle olive oil over their salads. They drizzle olive oil over their salads.
Vinegar.
She adds vinegar to her salad dressing. She adds vinegar to her salad dressing. The vinegar gave the dish a tangy flavor. The vinegar gave the dish a tangy flavor. They use balsamic vinegar for special dishes. They use balsamic vinegar for special dishes.
Honey.
She drizzles honey over her porridge in the morning. She drizzles honey over her porridge in the morning. The honey was sweet and golden. The honey was sweet and golden. They buy local honey from the farmer's market. They buy local honey from the farmer's market.
Cinnamon.
She sprinkles cinnamon on her morning coffee. She sprinkles cinnamon on her morning coffee. The cinnamon added a warm, spicy flavor to the cake. The cinnamon added a warm, spicy flavor to the cake. They use cinnamon in their apple pie recipe. They use cinnamon in their apple pie recipe.
Ginger.
She adds fresh ginger to her stir-fry dishes. She adds fresh ginger to her stir-fry dishes. The ginger gave the tea a spicy, warming flavor. The ginger gave the tea a spicy, warming flavor. They use ginger in both sweet and savory recipes. They use ginger in both sweet and savory recipes.
Basil.
She grows fresh basil in her kitchen window. She grows fresh basil in her kitchen window. The basil was fragrant and perfect for the pasta sauce. The basil was fragrant and perfect for the pasta sauce. They add basil to their tomato and mozzarella salad. They add basil to their tomato and mozzarella salad.
Oregano.
She sprinkles oregano on her pizza before baking. She sprinkles oregano on her pizza before baking. The oregano added an Italian flavor to the dish. The oregano added an Italian flavor to the dish. They use dried oregano in their pasta sauces. They use dried oregano in their pasta sauces.
Parsley.
She chops fresh parsley to garnish the dish. She chops fresh parsley to garnish the dish. The parsley added a fresh, green flavor. The parsley added a fresh, green flavor. They use parsley in their tabbouleh salad. They use parsley in their tabbouleh salad.
Thyme.
She adds thyme to her roast chicken. She adds thyme to her roast chicken. The thyme was aromatic and enhanced the meat. The thyme was aromatic and enhanced the meat. They grow thyme in their herb garden. They grow thyme in their herb garden.
Rosemary.
She uses rosemary to flavor her roast lamb. She uses rosemary to flavor her roast lamb. The rosemary was fragrant and woody. The rosemary was fragrant and woody. They add rosemary sprigs to their roasted vegetables. They add rosemary sprigs to their roasted vegetables.
Turmeric.
She adds turmeric to her curry for color and flavor. She adds turmeric to her curry for color and flavor. The turmeric gave the rice a golden yellow color. The turmeric gave the rice a golden yellow color. They use turmeric in their Indian-inspired dishes. They use turmeric in their Indian-inspired dishes.
Paprika.
She sprinkles paprika on her deviled eggs. She sprinkles paprika on her deviled eggs. The paprika added a smoky, sweet flavor. The paprika added a smoky, sweet flavor. They use paprika to season their chicken dishes. They use paprika to season their chicken dishes.
Coriander.
She adds fresh coriander to her Mexican dishes. She adds fresh coriander to her Mexican dishes. The coriander was fresh and added a citrusy note. The coriander was fresh and added a citrusy note. They use coriander in their curry and salsa recipes. They use coriander in their curry and salsa recipes.
Grapes.
She eats grapes as a healthy snack in the afternoon. She eats grapes as a healthy snack in the afternoon. The grapes were sweet and seedless. The grapes were sweet and seedless. They serve grapes with cheese for a perfect combination. They serve grapes with cheese for a perfect combination.
Lemon.
She squeezes fresh lemon juice over her fish. She squeezes fresh lemon juice over her fish. The lemon was tart and added zing to the dish. The lemon was tart and added zing to the dish. They add lemon slices to their water for flavor. They add lemon slices to their water for flavor.
Avocado.
She spreads mashed avocado on her toast for breakfast. She spreads mashed avocado on her toast for breakfast. The avocado was perfectly ripe and creamy. The avocado was perfectly ripe and creamy. They add avocado to their salads and sandwiches. They add avocado to their salads and sandwiches.
Pineapple.
She cuts fresh pineapple into chunks for fruit salad. She cuts fresh pineapple into chunks for fruit salad. The pineapple was sweet and juicy. The pineapple was sweet and juicy. They grill pineapple rings to serve with their barbecue. They grill pineapple rings to serve with their barbecue.
Pepper.
She stuffs bell peppers with rice and vegetables. She stuffs bell peppers with rice and vegetables. The red pepper was sweet and crunchy. The red pepper was sweet and crunchy. They roast peppers to add to their salads. They roast peppers to add to their salads.
Cucumber.
She slices cucumber thinly for her sandwiches. She slices cucumber thinly for her sandwiches. The cucumber was cool and refreshing. The cucumber was cool and refreshing. They add cucumber to their water for a refreshing drink. They add cucumber to their water for a refreshing drink.
Mushroom.
She sautés mushrooms with garlic and butter. She sautés mushrooms with garlic and butter. The mushrooms were earthy and flavorful. The mushrooms were earthy and flavorful. They pick wild mushrooms in the forest during autumn. They pick wild mushrooms in the forest during autumn.
Spinach.
She adds fresh spinach to her smoothies for extra nutrients. She adds fresh spinach to her smoothies for extra nutrients. The spinach was tender and wilted perfectly. The spinach was tender and wilted perfectly. They use spinach in salads, pasta dishes, and soups. They use spinach in salads, pasta dishes, and soups.
Courgette.
She grills courgette slices as a side dish. She grills courgette slices as a side dish. The courgette was tender and slightly charred. The courgette was tender and slightly charred. They grow courgettes in their vegetable garden. They grow courgettes in their vegetable garden.
Lamb.
She roasts lamb with rosemary for Sunday dinner. She roasts lamb with rosemary for Sunday dinner. The lamb was tender and full of flavor. The lamb was tender and full of flavor. They serve lamb chops with mint sauce. They serve lamb chops with mint sauce.
Turkey.
She roasts a turkey for Christmas dinner. She roasts a turkey for Christmas dinner. The turkey was moist and perfectly cooked. The turkey was moist and perfectly cooked. They serve turkey sandwiches the day after Christmas. They serve turkey sandwiches the day after Christmas.
Coffee.
She drinks a cup of coffee every morning to wake up. She drinks a cup of coffee every morning to wake up. The coffee was strong and aromatic. The coffee was strong and aromatic. They meet for coffee every Saturday morning. They meet for coffee every Saturday morning.
Tea.
She drinks a cup of tea in the afternoon. She drinks a cup of tea in the afternoon. The tea was hot and comforting. The tea was hot and comforting. They serve tea with biscuits for afternoon tea. They serve tea with biscuits for afternoon tea.
Water.
She drinks plenty of water throughout the day. She drinks plenty of water throughout the day. The water was cold and refreshing. The water was cold and refreshing. They always carry a bottle of water with them. They always carry a bottle of water with them.
Juice.
She drinks fresh orange juice for breakfast. She drinks fresh orange juice for breakfast. The juice was freshly squeezed and delicious. The juice was freshly squeezed and delicious. They make their own fruit juice at home. They make their own fruit juice at home.
Nuts.
She snacks on nuts for a healthy protein boost. She snacks on nuts for a healthy protein boost. The nuts were roasted and salted. The nuts were roasted and salted. They add nuts to their salads and desserts. They add nuts to their salads and desserts.
Beans.
She cooks beans as a source of protein. She cooks beans as a source of protein. The beans were tender and flavorful. The beans were tender and flavorful. They use beans in soups, stews, and salads. They use beans in soups, stews, and salads.
Lentils.
She makes lentil soup for a hearty meal. She makes lentil soup for a hearty meal. The lentils were cooked until soft and creamy. The lentils were cooked until soft and creamy. They use lentils in vegetarian dishes as a protein source. They use lentils in vegetarian dishes as a protein source.
Olive.
She adds olives to her pizza and salads. She adds olives to her pizza and salads. The olives were brined and full of flavor. The olives were brined and full of flavor. They serve olives as an appetizer with drinks. They serve olives as an appetizer with drinks.
Pear.
She eats a pear as a healthy afternoon snack. She eats a pear as a healthy afternoon snack. The pear was sweet and juicy. The pear was sweet and juicy. They poach pears in red wine for dessert. They poach pears in red wine for dessert.
Peach.
She slices fresh peaches for her fruit salad. She slices fresh peaches for her fruit salad. The peach was ripe and fragrant. The peach was ripe and fragrant. They grill peaches and serve them with ice cream. They grill peaches and serve them with ice cream.
Cherry.
She picks fresh cherries from the tree in summer. She picks fresh cherries from the tree in summer. The cherries were dark red and sweet. The cherries were dark red and sweet. They use cherries to make jam and pies. They use cherries to make jam and pies.
Watermelon.
She cuts watermelon into slices for a refreshing summer snack. She cuts watermelon into slices for a refreshing summer snack. The watermelon was juicy and perfectly chilled. The watermelon was juicy and perfectly chilled. They serve watermelon at their summer barbecues. They serve watermelon at their summer barbecues.
Aubergine.
She roasts aubergine slices for her vegetarian dishes. She roasts aubergine slices for her vegetarian dishes. The aubergine was tender and had absorbed the flavors. The aubergine was tender and had absorbed the flavors. They use aubergine in their moussaka recipe. They use aubergine in their moussaka recipe.
Cauliflower.
She makes cauliflower rice as a low-carb alternative. She makes cauliflower rice as a low-carb alternative. The cauliflower was roasted until golden and crispy. The cauliflower was roasted until golden and crispy. They serve cauliflower cheese as a side dish. They serve cauliflower cheese as a side dish.
Peas.
She adds fresh peas to her risotto. She adds fresh peas to her risotto. The peas were sweet and tender. The peas were sweet and tender. They grow peas in their vegetable garden. They grow peas in their vegetable garden.
Prawns.
She grills prawns with garlic and lemon. She grills prawns with garlic and lemon. The prawns were succulent and perfectly cooked. The prawns were succulent and perfectly cooked. They serve prawns as a starter at dinner parties. They serve prawns as a starter at dinner parties.
Tuna.
She makes tuna sandwiches for lunch. She makes tuna sandwiches for lunch. The tuna was fresh and flaky. The tuna was fresh and flaky. They grill tuna steaks and serve them rare. They grill tuna steaks and serve them rare.
Cream.
She whips cream to serve with dessert. She whips cream to serve with dessert. The cream was thick and rich. The cream was thick and rich. They pour cream over their fresh strawberries. They pour cream over their fresh strawberries.
Oats.
She makes porridge with oats for breakfast. She makes porridge with oats for breakfast. The oats were rolled and perfect for baking. The oats were rolled and perfect for baking. They use oats in their homemade granola. They use oats in their homemade granola.
Wine.
She drinks a glass of red wine with dinner. She drinks a glass of red wine with dinner. The wine was full-bodied and paired well with the meal. The wine was full-bodied and paired well with the meal. They serve wine at their dinner parties. They serve wine at their dinner parties.
Mustard.
She spreads mustard on her sandwiches. She spreads mustard on her sandwiches. The mustard was spicy and added kick to the dish. The mustard was spicy and added kick to the dish. They use mustard as a condiment for sausages. They use mustard as a condiment for sausages.
Ketchup.
She adds ketchup to her chips. She adds ketchup to her chips. The ketchup was sweet and tangy. The ketchup was sweet and tangy. They always have ketchup on the table for burgers. They always have ketchup on the table for burgers.
Mayonnaise.
She makes her own mayonnaise from scratch. She makes her own mayonnaise from scratch. The mayonnaise was creamy and smooth. The mayonnaise was creamy and smooth. They use mayonnaise in their potato salad. They use mayonnaise in their potato salad.
Chocolate.
She eats dark chocolate as an afternoon treat. She eats dark chocolate as an afternoon treat. The chocolate was rich and melted in her mouth. The chocolate was rich and melted in her mouth. They bake chocolate chip cookies together. They bake chocolate chip cookies together.
Cake.
She bakes a cake for birthdays. She bakes a cake for birthdays. The cake was moist and beautifully decorated. The cake was moist and beautifully decorated. They serve cake with tea in the afternoon. They serve cake with tea in the afternoon.
Biscuit.
She dips biscuits in her tea. She dips biscuits in her tea. The biscuits were buttery and crumbly. The biscuits were buttery and crumbly. They serve biscuits with coffee for guests. They serve biscuits with coffee for guests.
Almonds.
She snacks on almonds for a healthy protein source. She snacks on almonds for a healthy protein source. The almonds were roasted and lightly salted. The almonds were roasted and lightly salted. They use almonds in their baking and cooking. They use almonds in their baking and cooking.
Kiwi.
She slices kiwi to add to her fruit salad. She slices kiwi to add to her fruit salad. The kiwi was sweet and tangy. The kiwi was sweet and tangy. They eat kiwi with a spoon, scooping out the flesh. They eat kiwi with a spoon, scooping out the flesh.
Mango.
She cuts fresh mango into cubes for her smoothie. She cuts fresh mango into cubes for her smoothie. The mango was ripe and incredibly sweet. The mango was ripe and incredibly sweet. They use mango in their tropical fruit salads. They use mango in their tropical fruit salads.
Raspberry.
She picks fresh raspberries from her garden. She picks fresh raspberries from her garden. The raspberries were sweet and slightly tart. The raspberries were sweet and slightly tart. They serve raspberries with cream for dessert. They serve raspberries with cream for dessert.
Blueberry.
She adds blueberries to her morning porridge. She adds blueberries to her morning porridge. The blueberries were plump and juicy. The blueberries were plump and juicy. They bake blueberry muffins for breakfast. They bake blueberry muffins for breakfast.
Asparagus.
She steams asparagus and serves it with butter. She steams asparagus and serves it with butter. The asparagus was tender and perfectly cooked. The asparagus was tender and perfectly cooked. They grill asparagus as a side dish in spring. They grill asparagus as a side dish in spring.
Sweetcorn.
She grills sweet corn on the barbecue in summer. She grills sweet corn on the barbecue in summer. The sweet corn was sweet and tender. The sweet corn was sweet and tender. They add sweet corn to their salads and soups. They add sweet corn to their salads and soups.
Radish.
She slices radishes thinly for her salad. She slices radishes thinly for her salad. The radish was crisp and peppery. The radish was crisp and peppery. They use radishes as a garnish for their dishes. They use radishes as a garnish for their dishes.
Celery.
She snacks on celery sticks with hummus. She snacks on celery sticks with hummus. The celery was crunchy and refreshing. The celery was crunchy and refreshing. They add celery to their soups and stews for flavor. They add celery to their soups and stews for flavor.
Sausage.
She grills sausages for a barbecue. She grills sausages for a barbecue. The sausage was juicy and well seasoned. The sausage was juicy and well seasoned. They serve sausages with mash and gravy. They serve sausages with mash and gravy.
Bacon.
She fries bacon for a traditional English breakfast. She fries bacon for a traditional English breakfast. The bacon was crispy and golden. The bacon was crispy and golden. They add bacon to their sandwiches and salads. They add bacon to their sandwiches and salads.
Cod.
She bakes cod with herbs and lemon. She bakes cod with herbs and lemon. The cod was flaky and white. The cod was flaky and white. They serve cod with chips for a classic meal. They serve cod with chips for a classic meal.
Mussels.
She cooks mussels in white wine and garlic. She cooks mussels in white wine and garlic. The mussels were fresh and plump. The mussels were fresh and plump. They serve mussels as a starter at seafood restaurants. They serve mussels as a starter at seafood restaurants.
Cottage cheese.
She eats cottage cheese with fruit for a light lunch. She eats cottage cheese with fruit for a light lunch. The cottage cheese was fresh and creamy. The cottage cheese was fresh and creamy. They use cottage cheese in their healthy recipes. They use cottage cheese in their healthy recipes.
Quinoa.
She cooks quinoa as a healthy alternative to rice. She cooks quinoa as a healthy alternative to rice. The quinoa was fluffy and nutty in flavor. The quinoa was fluffy and nutty in flavor. They use quinoa in salads and as a side dish. They use quinoa in salads and as a side dish.
Barley.
She adds barley to her vegetable soup. She adds barley to her vegetable soup. The barley was tender and added texture to the dish. The barley was tender and added texture to the dish. They use barley in their hearty winter soups. They use barley in their hearty winter soups.
Beer.
She drinks a cold beer after work on Fridays. She drinks a cold beer after work on Fridays. The beer was refreshing and well chilled. The beer was refreshing and well chilled. They order beer when they go to the pub. They order beer when they go to the pub.
Lemonade.
She makes fresh lemonade in the summer. She makes fresh lemonade in the summer. The lemonade was sweet and refreshing. The lemonade was sweet and refreshing. They serve lemonade at their garden parties. They serve lemonade at their garden parties.
Soy sauce.
She adds soy sauce to her stir-fry dishes. She adds soy sauce to her stir-fry dishes. The soy sauce was salty and umami-rich. The soy sauce was salty and umami-rich. They use soy sauce in their Asian-inspired cooking. They use soy sauce in their Asian-inspired cooking.
Hot sauce.
She adds hot sauce to her eggs for breakfast. She adds hot sauce to her eggs for breakfast. The hot sauce was spicy and added heat to the dish. The hot sauce was spicy and added heat to the dish. They keep hot sauce on the table for those who like it spicy. They keep hot sauce on the table for those who like it spicy.
Hot dog.
She orders a hot dog with mustard and ketchup at the football match. She orders a hot dog with mustard and ketchup at the football match. The hot dog was served in a soft bun with onions. The hot dog was served in a soft bun with onions. They buy hot dogs from the street vendor. They buy hot dogs from the street vendor.
Hamburger.
She makes homemade hamburgers for a barbecue. She makes homemade hamburgers for a barbecue. The hamburger was juicy and cooked to perfection. The hamburger was juicy and cooked to perfection. They order hamburgers with chips at the restaurant. They order hamburgers with chips at the restaurant.
Pizza.
She orders a pizza for dinner when she doesn't feel like cooking. She orders a pizza for dinner when she doesn't feel like cooking. The pizza was topped with cheese, tomatoes, and basil. The pizza was topped with cheese, tomatoes, and basil. They make their own pizza from scratch on Friday nights. They make their own pizza from scratch on Friday nights.
Sandwich.
She makes a sandwich with ham and cheese for lunch. She makes a sandwich with ham and cheese for lunch. The sandwich was filled with fresh vegetables and chicken. The sandwich was filled with fresh vegetables and chicken. They pack sandwiches for their picnic in the park. They pack sandwiches for their picnic in the park.
Soup.
She makes vegetable soup for a healthy dinner. She makes vegetable soup for a healthy dinner. The soup was hot and comforting on a cold day. The soup was hot and comforting on a cold day. They serve soup as a starter before the main course. They serve soup as a starter before the main course.
Salad.
She makes a fresh salad with lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber. She makes a fresh salad with lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber. The salad was dressed with olive oil and vinegar. The salad was dressed with olive oil and vinegar. They order a salad as a healthy option at the restaurant. They order a salad as a healthy option at the restaurant.
Risotto.
She makes mushroom risotto for a creamy Italian dish. She makes mushroom risotto for a creamy Italian dish. The risotto was creamy and perfectly cooked. The risotto was creamy and perfectly cooked. They serve risotto as a main course at dinner parties. They serve risotto as a main course at dinner parties.
Curry.
She makes chicken curry with rice for dinner. She makes chicken curry with rice for dinner. The curry was spicy and full of flavor. The curry was spicy and full of flavor. They order curry from their favorite Indian restaurant. They order curry from their favorite Indian restaurant.
Stew.
She makes beef stew for a hearty winter meal. She makes beef stew for a hearty winter meal. The stew was slow-cooked and tender. The stew was slow-cooked and tender. They serve stew with crusty bread for dipping. They serve stew with crusty bread for dipping.
Roast.
She makes a Sunday roast with chicken and vegetables. She makes a Sunday roast with chicken and vegetables. The roast was perfectly cooked and served with gravy. The roast was perfectly cooked and served with gravy. They have a traditional roast dinner every Sunday. They have a traditional roast dinner every Sunday.
Chips.
She orders fish and chips from the local chippy. She orders fish and chips from the local chippy. The chips were crispy and golden. The chips were crispy and golden. They serve chips with burgers and sandwiches. They serve chips with burgers and sandwiches.
Fries.
She orders fries as a side dish with her burger. She orders fries as a side dish with her burger. The fries were hot and perfectly salted. The fries were hot and perfectly salted. They share a portion of fries between them. They share a portion of fries between them.
Ice cream.
She buys an ice cream cone on a hot summer day. She buys an ice cream cone on a hot summer day. The ice cream was creamy and delicious. The ice cream was creamy and delicious. They serve ice cream for dessert after dinner. They serve ice cream for dessert after dinner.
Pudding.
She makes chocolate pudding for dessert. She makes chocolate pudding for dessert. The pudding was rich and indulgent. The pudding was rich and indulgent. They serve pudding with custard or cream. They serve pudding with custard or cream.
Pie.
She bakes an apple pie for Sunday dessert. She bakes an apple pie for Sunday dessert. The pie had a flaky pastry crust and sweet filling. The pie had a flaky pastry crust and sweet filling. They serve pie with vanilla ice cream. They serve pie with vanilla ice cream.
Crisps.
She snacks on crisps while watching television. She snacks on crisps while watching television. The crisps were salty and crunchy. The crisps were salty and crunchy. They buy different flavors of crisps for the party. They buy different flavors of crisps for the party.
Cereal.
She eats cereal with milk for breakfast every morning. She eats cereal with milk for breakfast every morning. The cereal was crunchy and sweet. The cereal was crunchy and sweet. They choose healthy cereal with whole grains. They choose healthy cereal with whole grains.
Porridge.
She makes porridge with oats and milk for breakfast. She makes porridge with oats and milk for breakfast. The porridge was warm and comforting. The porridge was warm and comforting. They add fruit and honey to their porridge. They add fruit and honey to their porridge.
Toast.
She makes toast with butter and jam for breakfast. She makes toast with butter and jam for breakfast. The toast was golden and crispy. The toast was golden and crispy. They serve toast with eggs and bacon. They serve toast with eggs and bacon.